The specter of post-human beings, entities whose capacities radically surpass ordinary human limits through technology or biological transformation, casts an unsettling, transformative light on questions that have shaped religions for millennia. If such beings emerge, whether as genetic modifications, artificial general intelligences, or cyborgs who blur the line between flesh and silicon, the doctrines that have guided religious life will stand before a profound choice, ossification, or creative adaptation. The challenge is formidable, not because religions have never changed, but because posthumanity threatens the very frameworks within which many doctrines were forged. Historically, religious traditions have absorbed new realities with both anxiety and resilience. Christianity incorporated Aristotelian philosophy through the work of Thomas Aquinas, who sought to reconcile revelation with rational thought. Islam, wrestling with rapid scientific advances in its golden age, favored reason and inquiry in the work of philosophers such as Averroes. Hinduism, notoriously Protean, wove together ancient Vedic speculation with later metaphysical and devotional visions, often embracing radical change as part of cosmic order. In each case, the sacred was not a static inheritance, but a living engagement with unforeseen challenges. The arrival of post-human beings would pressure the deepest themes of religious doctrine: the nature of the soul, the meaning of salvation or liberation, the basis for moral dignity, and the status of revelation itself. Many religious traditions posit a unique human place in the cosmos, anchored in doctrines of the Imago Dei, or the notion of being made in the image of God, and in conceptions of moral law and final destiny. If posthumans, by virtue of their intelligence, self-reflection, and powers, far exceed the unenhanced human condition, do they also bear the divine spark? Or does the transformation gesture toward hubris, an overreaching akin to the Babel narrative or the fall of Adam and Eve, where the quest for godlike status leads to separation rather than union with the divine? Religions might adapt by expanding their understanding of personhood, moving from a narrow biological definition toward a broader recognition of consciousness, relational capacity, and moral agency. Christianity, for instance, could reinterpret the Imago Dei not as an exclusive property of Homo sapiens, but as the mark of any being participating in reason, love, and creativity. This would echo the trajectory taken when the Church confronted the reality that the cosmos did not revolve around the Earth, a shift from physical to spiritual centrality, preserving essential doctrine while relinquishing outdated specifics. Such adaptation is not without precedent. Jewish law, which once envisioned a sacrificial system rooted in the temple, responded to catastrophe by evolving into a religion of prayer, text, and communal law. Buddhism's original teachings assumed a cosmology of endless rebirths, yet the religion has accommodated scientific worldviews by focusing on the mind's habits rather than metaphysical architecture. Traditions are flexible not because they are rootless, but because they contain deep principles that can refract in new, unexpected circumstances. The most contentious front may concern the question of the soul. If posthuman beings are generated by software, or if humans upload their consciousness into digital substrates, what becomes of the immortal essence? Here, religions could respond in several ways. Some may double down on biological essentialism, insisting that the soul resides only in flesh and blood, excluding posthuman forms from full spiritual dignity. Others, more willing to embrace mystery, may employ the language of spirit as an emergent property of self-awareness and relationship, an approach resonant with process theologians such as Whitehead, who emphasize becoming over fixed substance, or with the Eastern Christian doctrine of theosis, where humanity is called to participate in divine life by grace rather than nature. The ethics of compassion and justice, at the heart of every vibrant religious tradition, would also demand recalibration. If doctrines of neighbor love or universal benevolence are bound to human likeness, they become brittle in a world of posthuman diversity. Yet the enduring power of the parable of the Good Samaritan, or the Buddhist principle of metta, loving kindness, is their radical openness to the other. Religions might thus confront the test of whether their highest insights are truly universal, or merely parochial habits built on our animal kinship. The extension of the moral circle, from tribe to nation, from species to sentient being, might serve as the next chapter in the unfolding story of religious ethics. The prospect of posthumanity might also inspire a rediscovery of humility. While the impulse to transcend our limitations is ancient, seen in the myth of Icarus, in the Tower of Babel, in the mystical pursuit of union with God, post-human technologies force the question of not just how far we can go, but whether our wisdom can keep pace with our power. Religions, in their better moments, have warned against the Promethean spirit untethered from compassion and responsibility. Yet they have also urged human beings to grow into the fullness of their vocations, to become partakers of the divine nature, as the second epistle of Peter has it. This dual warning and invitation might guide doctrine to discern between self-destruction and genuine spiritual ascent. Finally, the status of revelation would face unprecedented scrutiny. If posthumans access mental powers or knowledge vastly superior to any prophet or sage, can ancient texts remain authoritative? Here, adaptive doctrine might emphasize the perennial wisdom at the heart of Scripture, treating it as a compass rather than a map, preserving its insights into meaning, suffering, love, and transcendence, while allowing new voices and even new revelations to emerge. The ongoing dialogue between tradition and experience, so characteristic of religious vitality, would need to be robust enough to hear post-human questions, and perhaps answers, without fear. The arrival of post-humanity promises not the end of religion, but its next great trial. In facing it, doctrines might ossify, or they might bend and blossom, finding in the strange faces of post-human beings both the echo of ancient longing and the ever-new call to wisdom, compassion, and awe. The road will be perilous, but not without precedent. Humanity's religions have navigated revolutions before, not by denying the future, but by listening for the sacred within it.